What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Man, this sucks. I hate traffic, and I got to get over. We've got left lane closed ahead. This lane's ending, and it's getting close to rush hour. Hate fucking traffic. Anyway, that's my burden of being here in Northern Virginia, close to D.C. I was sitting here thinking why the Dallas Cowboys have to make a major move. Because, and this is going to sound crazy here, the Joneses, they love. You want to hear my philosophy here? Okay, Mike's tired. The Cowboys have to make a major move to do something different because this is really bad. This season was so bad. How bad was this season? This season was so bad that the Dallas Cowboys did not have anybody, and I mean anybody, in the top 10 of jersey sales. Usually the Cowboys have 2 or 3 in the top 10. You know, we've seen CD, we've seen Micah, we've seen Dak, we've seen Zeke. That all of those guys are always big sellers of jerseys. There's not a single Dallas Cowboy player in the top 10 in jersey sales. That's how far the Cowboys have literally dropped off. And this is where, if you were to make a major move, for example, like Myles Garrett, a guy can dream, can he? A guy can dream. There's so many positives to Myles Garrett. If you were to trade for Myles Garrett, because if your whole thing is we want the offseason buzz, I gotta say, you doing something major is a better offseason buzz than you just don't care about winning. I think that, honestly, I know they say there's no such thing as bad publicity, and that may be true, but there is a thing about great publicity. And if you were to pull off a coup like getting Myles Garrett, you're going to sell a lot of jerseys. I can guarantee you will sell a lot of Myles Garrett jerseys. And so here's the thing that I might think, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm thinking about the whole picture because I got plenty of time to think because I'm stuck in traffic because I hate freaking traffic. When you think about Micah Parsons, because a lot of people say, oh, Micah Parsons, he wants to be, traded someplace else. I'm going to say pump the brakes on that one because, see, you got to understand, as Jerry Jones quoted, some things that, things are bigger than winning. Some things are bigger than winning. And you have to understand that football is short term. You don't know how quickly your career could end. And so you have to plan, because we're talking about guys that are in their 20s and 30s, that they're not old like me. I'm close enough that in 3 years, if it's still there, I can collect Social Security. Okay? I've done the majority of the stuff that I'm going to do. And that's an additional 30 years beyond what these guys have. They got all this time. And if you've gotten used to being an NFL player and a whole lot of money, you don't want that to end and go back to somebody like me that ain't got a whole lot of money. And that's the problem for a lot of NFL players. They get used to having millions of dollars coming in, and they're not ready for when it doesn't. And it stops, it dries up. Now all of a sudden, damn, maybe I should have thought before having 10 kids. Maybe I should have thought before I had a garage full of all these expensive ass cars that are depreciating, because those things aren't going to pay my bills for the rest of my life. So it's a learning situation. And Micah is a very intelligent guy, and he understands about that Dallas Cowboy, love him or hate it, being there as part of the media. He's even stated that and said to people, If you want to get your social media on or your media presence on, Cowboys is the place to be. So let's say you are Myles Garrett, who has been Defensive Player of the Year. Can you imagine if Myles Garrett had been Defensive Player of the Year in Dallas? How much more that would grow. If his career was to end today, do you think that he would be as big as he would be had he been to Dallas? Probably not. And that's where the case for possibly wanting to go to Dallas. Then there was in 2017, per Clarence Hill, that Myles Garrett mama, because he is from Dallas, wanted the Cowboys to be able to draft him. Unfortunately, he wasn't going to be there at 28 when we drafted, I believe, Taco. God. So this has been a desire for him to have been with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, here's where it gets crazy. You've got Micah Parsons, who has already said, let's keep our guys. Let's make moves. Let's try and do things great, basically, to try and win it. Because Micah Parsons recognizes, A, I want to be here in Dallas because right now I am the president of the Bleacher Report, and I have sponsors like HBO Max now. I've got Nationwide Insurance, and I'm sure that before it's all said and done, that he's going to look like a NASCAR with literally just shit just stamped all over the place. So if you're the Dallas Cowboys, you get Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett wanting to be in Dallas, and I kind of said this about Derrick Henry, because Derrick Henry had 2 houses in Dallas and wanted to be here. He might have done a team-friendlier deal. Might have, playing from the home crowd. And this is one of those ones that I think if you're the Dallas Cowboys, you could look at this. Now, they're going to probably do something in free agency, but it'll be on a much smaller scale. They're not going to make a trade that may cost them a first and a second. I just don't see that happening. But this is where, would you want to say first round pick for Myles Garrett? Me? I'd say, yeah, I could do that. I could do that because he's a known quantity. He's a guy, if you're the Cowboys, you'll get a bigger bang from that than you will not signing Micah Parsons to the last minute. That's my belief. But they definitely need to do something because, the Cowboys, they like to be on those tops of those lists of things, tops in viewership in games, tops in jersey sales, because that says we're doing the right thing. We're doing great things, and everybody wants to see. Ain't nobody buying jerseys, bro. Ain't nobody buying Cowboys jerseys. And maybe, just maybe, everybody's saying stop showing up for games and buying their shit until they do something different. Chicken and the egg argument. Could be. Could just be. Alrighty, good people. Hope y'all are having a great Taco Tuesday. And I'm still suffering. Oh my God. You know what? I was talking about me suffering from Super Bowls. I forgot a couple other things on there that also make it worse too. This was actually the worst one. This is the absolute positive worst one. Seeing the Steelers, because I forgot about the Steelers not once but twice being in the Super Bowl. They won the one in Detroit, okay, against Seattle. They lost one because I remember now how we really got to having Joe Boo. Because what happened was my good friend Richard, who was a Steelers fan, or still is, had said he would literally die to be able to go to a Steelers Super Bowl. And so I was like, I'd love to give you my seat, but I can't do that. So I carried around at Super Bowl. I got a terrible towel, and that represented the Steelers for them. And everywhere I went, I took the towel, took pictures of it. But I couldn't just go around with this terrible towel, so I got 2 cowboy towels to go with it. So I really looked crazy. And that was the beginning. That was the precursor to Joe Boone, was taking these towels and taking pictures. They were hanging in the shower in the locker room at the stadium. You know, they were at Ron Jaworski's cigar party. I got Mike Golick with them. I got, Jim Kelly. I literally had everybody with these. But that Super Bowl was another one of those ones that was a killer for you if you're a Cowboy fan, because it was in Dallas. And you remember who played the Steelers. Aaron freaking Rodgers won the Super Bowl in Dallas. And I had to suffer through that one. So add to it 2 San Francisco games I had to go through there. 2 Eagles games that I had to go through there. 2 freaking Giant ones. 2 freaking Steeler ones. And Aaron freaking Rodgers. That's 9 freaking Super Bowls that were hell if you were a Cowboy fan. Yeah. Jerry, you suck.